Top of the morning, or afternoon, or evening to ya. Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, 5 Ever Read It. Guess what, y'all? We're switching it up again, and this time we're bringing you not one, not two, but 3 little tales from a hilarious Reddit community I stumbled upon recently called IDontWorkHereLady. Story number 1 is called I don't know where your rental is, I'm just enjoying my coffee. This happened in the spring of 2018. My mother had traveled abroad to visit one of her relatives, so when she was flying back, I went to get her. We live about 3 hours away from the airport. Because our oldest was recovering from a stomach bug, my hubby decided to stay home with the kids and I had to get my mother and bring her home. My mother's flight was scheduled to arrive at 1:15 p.m., but when I got there, I found out they had a 2-hour delay and I had to wait. I thought, alright, I'll enjoy coffee while I wait, and notified my husband. The weather was good, low 20 degrees Celsius, with no clouds, and decided to have my coffee on the outside patio of a coffee shop. I grabbed my tablet and, because the airport is a bit windy, a yellow windbreaker, and apparently that was the problem. I was reading my book on my tablet, enjoying my coffee, wearing my yellow windbreaker, when I heard, "Hey you!" I didn't think it was directed at me and continued reading. Then I felt someone looming above me and "I'm talking to you." I looked up to see a man looking down at me. Then the following exchange happened. Here's a little breakdown of the cast. Me. As me, duh. Chad was the entitled asshole. Karen is the entitled asshole's wife. PO1 and PO2, the police officers. Me. Yes? Chad. Where's my rental? Thinking that he was asking where the rental companies were, I replied that they were on the other side of the arrivals area. Chad. Okay, be a good employee and bring it here. Me. I will certainly not do that. I don't work for the rentals. Chad. Yes, you do. Now go and get it. Me. No. The thing goes back and forth like we're 4-year-olds when Karen inserts herself in the conversation. Karen. Honey, what's taking so long? Chad to Karen. This employee here doesn't want to bring our rental. Karen comes and grabs my windbreaker's lapel and puts her face uncomfortably close to mine. Karen. Listen, you little beep. Me and my husband are very good clients. I don't care if you're on a break, but if you don't bring the car in 3 minutes, we will get you fired. Me, extremely pissed at this point. Listen, take your paws off me or we will have trouble. Karen, oh, you threaten me? Me? Oh, you are so getting fired. At this point, she swings her arm, hitting the coffee, spilling it on the table but missing the tablet, and on me. Me standing up. F off! Go find your own rental! Karen, at that point, slapped me, while her husband was screaming obscenities. I flipped and slapped her back, which initiated a fight. When the initial argument began, a couple of bystanders had taken notice. The shouting had attracted a crowd, and when the fight started, somebody called the cops. 2 officers came and separated us. Officer 1. What happened? Chad. The employee refused to help us and then attacked my wife. Me. I don't work here, you doofus, and your wife attacked me. Officer 2. Madame, language please. Karen. I want to press charges. Officer 1. Okay, all of you are coming with us. We ended up at the airport police station. One officer went to get the manager of the rental company and the other reviewed the tapes with his boss. The rental company manager verified I wasn't an employee. They wear white shirts and black ties and a lanyard with their access ID, and I was wearing a Lulu shirt and jeans. The cameras verified the attack, I pressed charges, and left to get my mother. Story 2. Classmate mistakes me as working in the park, begins to disclose fetishes. I was studying in the park by my house this afternoon when a cute guy around my age, wearing a sweatshirt from my college, sat down directly next to me. I thought that was kind of odd, especially during a global pandemic, so kind of scooched in the other direction. But then he started talking and he was like, so, hi, I'm Jose. All stuttery and not making eye contact and everything. I thought it was so sweet that he was so nervous to talk to me, so I took the bait and said, oh, well, hi, I'm Tamira. And he says, oh, that's a really pretty name. I never would have guessed that that'd be your name. There was a long, awkward pause as I tried to think what I could say in response to that. And he goes, so, how about a walk around the park? I thought that's really gutsy to ask, but you know what? I kind of like that. So I said sure and packed my books and off we went. I figured it was middle of the day, surrounded by other people, so worst case scenario, I could always ditch him if things felt shady. So we were walking and he was making more nervous small talk. I was telling him some stuff about my interests and background and then asking him about his. He was like, wow, I didn't expect you to actually tell me so much about yourself. Wasn't sure how to feel about that, but all right. He's like, should I tell you a little more about me then? Because it's almost 3 p.m. I figured maybe he had to go somewhere by 3 and I'd miss him mentioning it. So I was like, sure, tell me everything I should know about you. Figuring the whole experience to this point was like a fairy tale or a sitcom, so I should just keep rolling with it. But then he says, maybe we should have this conversation at your place. I thought asking me, a total stranger, to stop what I was doing and take a walk with him was gutsy. I thought what he just said was sleazy at best. I kind of nervously chuckled as I looked for non-confrontational outs to this situation and said, we're definitely not going back to my place. He says, oh, okay, sure, fine. I didn't mean where you live necessarily, I just meant the place wherever it is we're going. I'm sure you've got something all worked out. Anyways, I can start telling you about myself now. Sure. He was kind of looking around to see if other people were listening, and he goes, see, I'm really more of an ass kind of guy. I have a major spanking fetish, so if you've got any short skirts or, what? Forget the non-confrontational exit. I instinctively went, stop, this conversation is over, and turned to hightail it into the nearest store. The guy is running after me going, wait, what? I'm sorry, I'm sorry, the ad said you were cool with kinks and stuff. I just thought, wow, I'm sorry. Alright, that slowed me down. I'm thinking, did he just say ad? He stopped near me now, catching his breath, going, again, I'm so sorry. And look, this may not be the best time to ask this, but am I still gonna be charged, like, for the full time, even if you're leaving? So it took me a second to figure out, but to make a long story short, this poor guy was experiencing a touch of pandemic loneliness, so went and hired a call girl off some personal section online. She told him she'd be there in the park wearing an identical graphic tee to mine, and we apparently have very similar features because she described the same height, build, hair, and eye color to mine. Once we got everything worked out, he was especially apologetic and begged me not to speak of the encounter ever again in case we know anyone in common. I'm going to do my best to keep that promise. So, instead, I'm posting about it under the cloak of internet anonymity because, oh my god, I just had to tell someone. Story 3. Confuse a Karen. I popped into a local shop yesterday for bread and milk and a few other bits. It's fairly cold, so I'm in my outdoor coat, hat, and gloves and look nothing like the sales staff. I was searching for bread sauce when I hear a throat being cleared noisily nearby and a very brusque, impatient lady's voice saying, "Excuse me." I think to myself, it's the dreaded Karen, and I recognize that voice. This one I am pretty sure I've met before. I know that saying, "I don't work here," won't work, but this gives me an idea. A little experiment, if you will. So I turn to her and say, the manager, just the person I wanted to see. She looks at me with a priceless expression of confusion, mouth silently working as she tried to think of a response, and says, relatively meekly, "But I don't work here." I reply to her, "Don't you? Oh, well, I do apologize. So what do you want?" Nothing. And walks away, looking like the walls of her mind had just collapsed. I'm using this one again. Hope you guys enjoyed these hilarious stories from IDontWorkHereLady as narrated by yours truly. I had quite a great time reading these ones. Drop us a like if you enjoyed this and send us any stories you'd like us to record. Stay tuned on our channel for more Reddit tales. Bye!